Welcome back to Coriander Society Adventures. Tormented by Gnomes, your game master, joined by Ninja Man Matt and Pods of War. When last we left our heroes on the forest world of Perianth, putting off their important quests to party with a gray elf mage. Our heroes are about to do something extremely inadvisable that they will probably still make it through because it do be like that. As Medwithin is preparing the deadly tea, what preparations or stuff did you have in mind to do beforehand?
Well, John is going to make over to Chester and take off one of the little. I think Chester was a caller, if I recall correctly. But regardless, they have a seal. They have several seals that John has made for them, as well as the rest of the party. And he's going to take off the seal of recovery. Well, actually, I guess I'll ask Medwithin first. Medwithin, darling, just to double check, you're joining us on this adventure, is that correct?
Yes. Can't leave you alone.
I thoroughly appreciate that. Now, let's just say things go very poorly. Would you rather have a better chance at preventing things from entirely going to shit with you, or would you rather at least have, if everything goes to hell, some sort of assurance that it won't get any worse? If you had to choose.
She stares at you and then reaches into a beautiful embellished wooden cabinet and pulls out 3 vials of antitoxin. What?
Nothing. He takes the seal of recovery from Chester. You'll get this back before long. Don't you worry, my friend.
Wow.
And he's going to give the seal to Medwithin. I'm assuming she wears some sort of either, choker, necklace, some kind, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
May I? He makes sure to get her permission before messing with her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the angelic seal of recovery, professed to the Archangel Jalal, and is going to implant it upon her necklace there. And he begins focusing on it as well. He begins focusing on Asena's seal of recovery and his own. If the worst should happen, we won't die. So there's that.
Good. And she hands each of you a vial of antitoxin. And then drinks her own.
Oh, we drink this now.
Yes.
I mean, technically, if you feel confident, you could probably hold on to it, but probably a good idea.
What does it do?
It insulates your body from harmful toxins like the ones we're all about to drink.
Like poison tea or something?
Yes.
Yeah, poison tea or something.
Very poisonous.
Oh. Well, you'll see Asena just put it in her pocket.
Yeah, same. John's like, we may have some money, but I feel confident in our ability to not pass out. But this is a fine gift. Thank you very much. I don't mind holding on to it for the future.
Don't die.
We won't die.
Remember? Guarantee.
Was there anything else that you had in mind first?
Well, I did, but I haven't prepared it today. So here we are with the last. You know what? We won't die. That's about as good as I can promise right now.
All right. 3 beautiful teacups are set out before you, and they smell delightful. And Medwithin sits very gracefully down in an area, like a nook of her suite that's covered with cushions. Just very, very soft, fluffy, no hard corners anywhere. What shall we think of?
Well, should we be useful or should we just enjoy ourselves?
Asena?
Yes?
What should we think of? What part of yourself Or the world would you better understand?
Is that what this tea does? I mean, we think of things.
It does a lot of shit.
Oh. Um. We. I could think of the astral.
The Silver Sea. Yeah. Yes.
I like it there.
Beautiful.
No, but then since we're all going together, should we focus on the same thing? I've never taken a trip with someone else before.
I followed you the last time. Now we'll
Did you?
follow. Yes. We
Oh.
we beheld the Ulitharid in the great cavern of Zogatha, bequeathing upon
That's
the dark
right.
elves the power of spell jamming so that they could find for them the power of the ancients. A power which you too later discovered in the tombs
true.
of Ashen. I was there.
Speaking of which, we'll have to go back and get that one as well, now that I'm thinking of it.
Ah, yes.
So many.
Don't
No.
think of that though. Let's follow Asena.
Yeah, follow
Sounds good.
me.
Don't I always?
I usually let you make all the plans, so that way I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, but you always find a way to throw a wrench in those plans, and we end up in such delightful areas like the astral sea or somewhere deep beneath the waters of Quelia. And it's
Hey,
always fun.
you like those places.
I certainly do. I just like them a little more when I know they're about to happen.
If life was predictable, it would be terrible.
Also true.
After you. And she gestures at Asena.
What am I supposed to do exactly?
Just think of something, preferably something nice. You are
I
going to be
thought
the
the
author of
astral
our
sea
experience.
was nice.
Drink the tea.
Oh. I say I will drink the tea.
John will drink the tea.
Med with
Look,
him.
I'm finally drinking the tea, John.
Good.
Good, yeah, very nice.
The room all around, threads of silver light flow through the veins, the grain of the living wood, illuminating it from within. And as it does, the wood itself begins to melt away into mist, leaving behind only these beautiful silver, almost wireframe sculptures of the tree. Similarly, the ground beneath you dissolves away. The cushions are still floating around with you for a moment or two before they too collapse into silver mist. And you feel all around yourself the electrifying sensation of weightlessness, breathlessness, and ambient energy of the infinite astral sea. Except this time, it's not simply fog. If you look out, you can see clearly out to an almost infinite distance, much farther than you ought to be able to. And along the way, spinning are swirling pools of color. Every color that you can imagine is somewhere in this constellation, this infinite sea filled with light. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Just sort of spins for a while, moving at its own pace, both incredibly slow, yet so fast you can barely track it. Asena, what's on your mind?
I think she's just trying to look around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Just
if she's
vibing.
really thinking anything yet.
Okay. Roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Is Rocco here?
Yes.
Well, this just got much better.
A 9. John, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. You can stare at this and perceive it for, I mean, this could
I should not have bless on. Ignore that 4.
copy.
I don't know why I have that on. I did not remember clicking that. Oh, we had bless on from a while ago, and I just had to turn
Yeah,
it
that's
on.
old.
Real old.
Rail.
The
Oh,
astral,
I haven't
and
really
as
seen it for
you're
a while.
watching Asena, you start to see portal conduits like whirling tornadoes stretched out with an opening of the funnel on either side, curving their way through, flickering into existence and then parting just as swiftly as they formed. It makes almost a sound like rain as they just
Let's try and go in one.
Of course.
Okay. Roll a 1d100, please. Janessa.
93.
93. Where is my... There it is. Okay. You reach out. When you're in the astral plane, you move simply by thinking. But right now, you don't even need to think about it. You just reach out towards it, and suddenly it bends towards you and becomes so small that it fits directly inside your hand. You're able to pick it up with no trouble whatsoever. And when you grab onto it, it pulls and carries you like an enormous kite that's so large that it drags you with it. But you're not being dragged along the ground. You're just sort of swept up and snatched off into the astral emptiness. It's fun. It's very fun. Could I have each of you roll a Constitution saving throw, please? A 15
And the 7.
and a 7. And I'm going to roll for Medwithin as well with advantage because she drank the stuff.
She did drink the stuff.
Okay, she should have had advantage on that. It was a 5 and a 9. That is most unfortunate.
We didn't see that, but I'll
I
take
know
your
we
word for
didn't.
it.
Oh, interesting. Must have rolled. Yeah, it's rolling to GM only. Huh. Maybe I
Then if
clicked the wrong button.
GM
Oh, well.
only, did it ever really happen? How can we ever?
I know.
prove
Maybe it didn't count.
Maybe.
All right. In front of the screen.
Sounds like rolling off the table. Well,
A 17. There we go.
See?
Your wheeling and dealing has earned you that much.
Well, we are drinking upon the Mordain right now. I think we can be afforded a little bit of weirdness.
Okay, a 93, huh? Okay, it drags you into a pool of silver light.
Oh, silver
Hmm.
light, you say?
Yes.
It's bright in here.
And as you fly through it, you find yourselves in that strange fungal forest that you arrived in by accident that one time that you teleported to.
Really?
Yeah. Back to your world, back to Yord, back to Asena's home world. You find yourself standing amongst this. The sky above you is glowing but thick and roiling with smoke or fog or some dense atmosphere, and just glow, a constant glow down from the sky. The trees around you are all fungus of various sorts and types, some of which you've never seen before. Some almost look like enormous leeks, like the plant that's a leek, except it's a fungus and it goes up and it springs and it's got all these little red dewdrops that pop out on top of it. There's mushrooms and shelf fungus growing out of the mushrooms and bizarre noises echoing through. The smells immediately assail your nostrils, the smell of moldering rot, but with a sweetness to it.
I love sweet rot.
You think this stuff is edible? Probably.
I mean, it's absolutely edible.
Are trips edible?
Zuniel, have you ever, or not Zuniel, sorry. Medwithin, have you ever eaten? Well,
she that much on your mind?
What?
The Zuniel. She's that much on your mind.
Possibly. Moving on. Consuming of mushrooms and plant-based matter while within this place. I think we should totally give it a try.
None of this is real.
But it's real to us in this moment, is it not?
Then why hold back?
Exactly.
Asena will pick the red flower and just give everyone one.
Okay.
We take it.
All right. It's almost like a lollipop. It's not that sweet, but it has the same consistency to it.
Weird.
We're like running around and all we see is this Willy Wonka world. And in reality, we're just eating the worst, most awful, terrible looking plant matter.
What is this place?
This stuff is amazing.
This is yours.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like what you've described. Where are the cities of steel and glass?
Exactly. We don't really know where this is. We came upon it. How did we come upon it again, Asena?
I
think it was one of your...
And now we're here.
No. Before that. No, I think it was one of your temporal rifts. We were going somewhere. And I think we popped out here in this fungal
That's usually
forest.
how we get places.
It's true.
We're going somewhere. We end up somewhere else.
But we didn't mean to be here. I think we were trying to get back to Yord. And this is where we ended up. But we have samples in my bag. We've got a sample. We were going to do some testing. You licked something and you lost feeling in your tongue. You grew blue hair. It's weird.
Did I become a rock?
That's the weird part. You did not. I don't remember you being a rock that time. It would make sense, though. It would.
Fungus are just poisonous, you know, without psychotropic properties. Or non-poisonous, even delicious.
Exactly.
How are these flowers are delicious?
But are they, or do we want them to be? Because I do.
Bo. What does it taste like for you, Bo? Because it tastes like lollipops to me.
Oh, it's a lollipop.
Yeah.
Lollipop tree.
Here. And Medwithin reaches out her hands to both of you.
Okay. We take her hands.
And the ground falls away from you as you start to rise up. Just there's not even a sensation of movement. It's like the planet beneath your feet is shrinking. And as it shrinks, you see off in the distance an enormous towering city. All the color of iron. Just iron skyscrapers and weird shapes going up. and airships, floating vessels, sparking with electricity, floating towards it and leaving it, and railways, some sort of a monorail whizzing through the entire system. And beyond that, farms, but not farms growing any crops you've ever seen. They're blue and fuchsia. Strange plants and other flying vessels moving from place to place, including that looks an awful lot like a flying saucer, except made entirely out of iron with a big crystal sticking out from underneath it. Oh. And as you continue to fly upwards and upwards, you get towards the glowing sky, and whoosh, you just start flowing through it, and it's crackling with light all around you. Until at last, you're floating above it. Matt, make a science check for me, please.
Okay. John has an idea.
25. As you pass through this enormous atmosphere and suddenly find yourself above it and it recedes away from you, you start to see more and more colors in enormous patterns, and it gets further and further and further until, John, you realize that you are floating above something that looks an awful lot like a gas giant planet.
Okay.
You are now floating in space.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Yord Mars? I mean, obviously it's a gas giant, so it'd be more like Yord Jupiter.
This is your Jupiter. You can see your home world in impossible detail because we're in, psychotropic dreamland.
Uh-huh.
Asena, you can see your home planet spinning in the distance. Kind of like that time you went to space, except you actually recognize things from maps. And you can see the sun behind it. And again, your eyesight is far, far better than it ought to be. But this is the 6th or 7th planet away from Yord.
And this is where everyone thinks the aliens come from, which is actually where the aliens come from, because we can see aliens, like a whole civilization, weird crops and UFOs and enormous metal ceilings, cities and ceilings of cities. Oh my God.
There's more Yords?
Yes. Yes, of course, just more Yords.
Why would there be more than one Yord?
I mean, it's not, they probably don't call it Yord. They probably call it, I don't know, Mars or something. Who knows what they call it?
Mars.
Why would they call it Mars?
Ma.
Yeah, that's a weird word.
It's pretty weird. What about SRAM? Maybe they call it SRAM. That would be a good one. SRAM.
Middleton is staring off at the 3rd planet from the sun, and now I see them. And if you look at her and you follow where she's looking, you can see the city of Northport in impossibly large detail.
What the?
Okay, where is the mushroom place? Hold on a moment. And John's going to try and see if he can triangulate, looking at the planet where mushroom area is from Northport.
Well, the mushroom forests are freaking huge because not Jupiter, and I can look up the name of the planet. I wrote all these names out. It might be called Jove because that's basically Jupiter.
Joe, you need a planet after yourself?
No,
really?
Jove, Jove, like, what? Jove. I'd have to look it up. But the mushroom forest is enormous. This planet is so much bigger than Earth. So much bigger than Earth, and by association Yord. So the mushroom planet, the mushroom forest is probably as big as the Pacific Ocean.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this thing is on a scale because, again, the planet's huge.
Oh my God. We would have been lost there forever. We never would have found our way out.
Are we lost? Can we get lost?
Roll Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh, man.
12, a 17, and...
Ooh, good.
18.
Nice. Very nice.
What are we supposed to do while we're here in the tea?
We're just kind of vibing, Asena. We're not like... Look, you could really turn this on its heel. You can take us anywhere right now. You are the master of our destiny at this point, and you're going to get out of this what you put into it. What do you want to know?
I don't know what to know. How do I
No.
know what I'm supposed to know?
Any of us, really?
Think on that. Think on that. That right there. Think on that. What do you want to know? And think about what you want to know, and it'll take you there.
All I know is there are so many things I'll never know.
You know what you could know?
What?
Where Golthaarius lives. Think about that. Think about Golthaarius. Focus in on that part of you that isn't you, but it is you. Imagine.
It's not here.
No, but we could be where they are. You're not the least bit curious right now.
Asena's torn because she really wants to know, but she also doesn't want to listen to John.
Okay, let me help with that. What exactly does your seal do, John?
As soon as somebody begins making their first death saving throw, they immediately stabilize and gain 1 hit point.
Okay. John, roll a death saving throw.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well,
What?
I immediately stabilize and I gain a hit point.
Yep.
So I'm assuming John wakes up.
Yes. Right after he says that, he melts into nothingness.
Ah!
What was that?
Oh. He woke up or died, but he said he couldn't die, so.
Woke up or died. Is that how it happens? You just...
I've never seen this happen before. You're not supposed to drink it at all.
Oh,
No.
but it's a tea.
It's, you steep it in hot water, and then as she's explaining this, you're suddenly space consolidates itself. The gases of the gas giant planet beneath you rise up to form Medwithin's room that you were just in. Except that the trees are made of the same swirling multicolored gas, and John isn't there. And the two of you are reclining next to the tables, and the teacups are in front of you, and she's gesturing at it. You steep it in hot water, and then breathe in the mist. And you see, like, at that exact moment, this plume of multicolored mist rises up. It's not what it looked like in the real world. But the water itself is incredibly toxic, so you're supposed to pour it out. And there's literally a skull float of leaves floating inside of it.
Oh,
Do you know?
that's what's meant by, like, don't drink the tea.
Yes, John did it at a party to assert dominance.
Oh, did anyone else?
I joined him, but not by drinking it. I see. Roll a Constitution saving throw, please. An 18. Excellent. John, you are conscious, but the poison is still in your system.
Ah, yes.
So roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'm conscious, so do I get to do anything before this
You
happens?
can do one thing if you'd like.
Cool. John's going to do exactly that. John's going to activate the greater seal on his seal of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to cast, as soon as he realizes what's happened to himself, he's going to cast Angelic Guardian, where he is able to... Wait. Nope, that's not it. Sorry, I picked the wrong one. He is where the hell did you go? There it is. Sorry. Blessed Halo is the one that he's casting.
Mm-hmm.
And he is gonna cast that ish at level 5. And so with that, he's gonna have 25 points of healing.
Mhm.
He is going to drop 1 point of healing on himself.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, he is going to recover because of his greater seal. When the user regains hit points, they regain additional hit points equal to their intelligence modifier. So he regains 6 hit points by dropping 1 hit point this turn.
Cool. Does that consume the seal?
No, just for the next minute, it is a greater version of itself.
Got it.
Does
Cool.
not
Now roll a
consume.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, righto. A 12. I'm gonna pop a deduction dice. 18.
18. That succeeds.
Thank you.
You now have 1 success.
Oh, good. Every time John gets a chance to, he's gonna just keep slow popping this until he's eventually a little more comfortable with himself.
Okay. Cool. Medwithin also has another success. Oh, she has 3 successes. She's fine now. She's going to survive.
Oh, good.
So now it's just, again, John is in real life,
Yeah.
continuing to make Constitution saving throws every single round. Medwithin and Asena are also in her room, but in the dream psychotropic version of her room. And she just explained the poison and how you're not supposed to drink it, and John did it to T-pose on some people at a party.
Well, I guess John didn't do so well today.
Oh, no. They still
Wait.
talk.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, what were you going to say?
Is Asena's gonna like paw at like just like some like items in the room?
Mm-hmm.
Is this your real room if John's not here?
Real is such an ephemeral term. We remain within the realm of mind, and beyond, instead of the city, you see the astral plane again with all those swirling portals all over the place. Long have I spent with John, days and hours, and I have met with Gaston in the halls of memory. But you I know so little of.
That makes 2 of us.
Then what would you see or do?
Well, there was this one time. Asena's gonna think back to one of her like first times in the astral sea where she
Mhm.
had seen it was the moment with like the thread, and she cut the thread.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, refresh me.
It was like one of the times where she was getting pulled into the astral, and then she would like think about Golthaarius, and sometimes she would see him.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this one time where there was like this piece of thread, but I can't remember what was holding it to, and then she cut it. And then something happened.
Okay. As you think of that, it winds its way out between the trunks of the gas giant trunks of the trees back towards you. And it floats sort of loose, with it fraying at the end, just outside the boundaries of the room.
Yeah, this thing. You see Asena like get up and try to like chase it.
The moment that you reach for it, it reaches for you.
Oh. I got it.
And it wraps its fraying threads around your hand. And it pulls, and once again, you don't move, but Medwithin's room just melts and gets blasted away as if by an enormous tempest. And so the world moves at an incredible speed, but you remain completely stable where you are. And now, as you get pulled along, you can see other threads of astral wind and bits and pieces of the pools of color that lead to other planes. They begin to unwind and come unraveled, and threads of these different colors of different worlds start flowing and following along with you and braiding themselves together, weaving themselves into a pattern. And you yourself, this silver thread that you're holding, you are also part of this pattern. And as it pulls and these different colors start weaving around you, they begin to seal off the astral skies, replacing it with themselves, this shimmering rainbow. And you stop moving. And in this scintillating space is a tower, a spire, a shape, floating and rotating in the middle of nothing, almost a natural, almost like a crystal, elongated, pointed at either side. And hovering at various heights in different gravitational orientations are woven platforms of that same color, the very essence of these portals, these worlds, solidified. And on top of them are books. Millions of books. And scattered amongst them are coins and gems and enormous statues. You must see statues of like gold that are bigger than a person. Entire monuments from alien worlds you've never seen, sitting on these various platforms at different angles, and books and scrolls and computers, enormous towering computers and holograms and pieces of technology. There's an entire spaceship over there. Not one that you've ever seen before, but Asena's got lots of experience with spaceships, right? So she knows a spaceship when she sees one. And it's an incredibly complex space, all woven together and flipped on top of each other. Scrolls and tablets and enormous carved walls with runes inscribed into them, and statues and depictions of different scenes from a million different cultures. This is an absolutely unfathomable hoard of knowledge, and also like normal ass treasure, a ridiculous amount of it.
Whoa. You see this?
You are alone.
Oh. Head within? Where'd you go?
Your voice echoes in this space.
Well, maybe she died. Asena's gonna just think about flying closer to all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The books in particular caught her mind first.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to go check those out.
Okay, there are so many, I can't even describe all of them. Made from a million different substances, in languages you've never heard of. There are so many of them. A casual just glimpse or scan of them is overwhelming. The libraries of kingdoms could have been upended on this, and they would only be a drop in the bucket. Is there anything in particular that you're focusing on?
She is going to like sort of dive into all the books and start looking at them, like grabbing one and then looking at it, not really reading it, but kind of just seeing its colors and whatever like the cover is, and then just like throwing it and then grabbing another one.
As you do, you can feel thoughts that aren't your own popping into your brain. And suddenly you know things. Little facts here and there, little snippets of knowledge from each of the books that you're flowing through.
Are the books limited? Like, are they from any place?
Any place.
Okay. She's gonna think of Batman.
John's talked about Batman before.
Because John keeps talking about it. See if there's a book on Batman.
Yeah, Detective Comics 01, Edition 1. There's a lot of stuff about Batman in here. And
a lot of stuff about Batman in here?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff about everything in here. But yes, there is information about Batman in this treasure trove of knowledge. And every time that you grab one of these books, you suddenly learn something like, he's the Caped Crusader. He fights crime. His parents are dead! He doesn't kill. Like, suddenly you find yourself absorbing bits and pieces of Batman trivia.
Asena can't kill. How did Batman do it?
Are Asena's parents dead? Because, I mean, it seems like it.
Asena is Batman.
Be the Batman you want to see in the world.
Batman's a ninja. Asena's a ninja. I mean...
His parents were rich.
His parents were rich.
He's a martial artist.
She's just gonna spend her time like flipping through the comics and like looking at all the drawings.
Doesn't Asena have a hideout that no one else like really knows the secrets to, and she keeps all of her stuff from her rose galleries and adventures in there?
I can just imagine her lair in Aelberg, but with an enormous penny in it, just like
just
the
a
comics.
Giant coin and a T-Rex,
just for no reason. Just.
Oh, there is a reason. We know it now. You know, there's something to be said for that. In every single universe, there is always a Batman. What if in Yord's universe, Asena is Batman?
The Batman paradox. Flashpoint.
Oh my god, we learned so much.
All right. Well, you're welcome to spend the remainder of your time there learning about Batman, and then eventually it will fade. Is that how you want that to go down?
She has a couple more things to think about. She's gonna think about Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Do roll a Constitution saving throw for me, however.
Me too, or
26.
just say that?
Yeah, you too, while we're at it. And you can, every time I ask you to roll a thing, you can do more healing.
Cool. Mate, how bad does this feel? Like, is John, now that John doesn't have his buffer anymore, does he feel like, oh no, this isn't going away?
This feels horrible. Your liver and kidneys are being destroyed right now.
All right, John is going to cast the only 6th level spell he has for today, and he's going to cast Tensor's Transformation. John yokes out, gets absolutely enormous, and the only reason he's doing it is because he gets proficiency in con saves, so he can try and magic his way through this poison. And John's gonna go ahead and make his con save
with proficiency.
Oh, natural 20! I think
Okay.
it burns right off, baby.
You just go into full like yoke mode, Dragon Ball Z hair and stuff, and you just will the poison out of your pores.
Oh my
John
God.
literally just like stands up after being so high. He just does this transformation. He starts powering up like and just Ki shouts the poison out of his body.
Meanwhile, Asena has absorbed
Chester's just
a
like
lot.
watching. Chester and Dargan are like, what the fuck is that? Oh my god, what the hell's Dargan been doing this whole time?
We cannot even know.
Asena, aside from Batman and Scooby-Doo, what else were you going to focus on?
So the last thing, as she's thinking like, okay, I can find out more about things that John has told me about that I don't know what he's talking about. She's gonna be thinking about books. And then she's gonna think about, gosh, I wish Janessa remembered the names of things.
It's fine. You can give us the prompt and we'll be like, oh, this.
Okay. She's gonna think about the time where she almost gave up the lizard boy.
In the
What's
Infernal
his
Stronghold,
name?
in the Obsidian Tower.
Yeah.
Ten
in
Kobold Bizbus.
exchange- 10 kobold as a lizard. And think about the book that was there. Because the whole reason why she did that was so that way she could know more about that book.
Hmm.
So she's going to start looking for that one.
Okay. Okay.
You are muted, Matt.
I was gonna say I used to love Ten Kobold, and then that adventure happened.
He soured, it happens. Okay. You find a copy of that book, the book that the gargoyle was holding, right? That weird
Yeah.
swirly book? Yeah. You find one of those gargoyles. And as you look at it and drift your fingers across it, it has a mind of its own. Or it did once, long ago. It doesn't anymore because it was taken from that place. But the echoes of that mind still remain, and it is a demonic one, a surging force of chaos and destruction, bound into stone to serve as a repository of knowledge and guidance to those who dwelled within it. Individuals who came from 1,000 different worlds and who all met within that tower to exchange knowledge, to conquer more, to spread their influence further and further. And you learn that that tower holds vaults containing imprisoned monsters that are controlled and bound. It holds weapons and artifacts sealed up so that only those who know their secrets can find them and unlock them. Weapons and engines of terrible power, created with the blood of the innocent and driven by pain or bound fiends, engines of destruction from 1,000 different worlds, hidden in extra-dimensional spaces throughout that tower. The place has so many secrets, none of which were supposed to be revealed to any except those who have passed the rites. And the two rites require you. The two rites, you learn about them. One of them is to kill or harm or destroy someone you have no connection to whatsoever, someone who has done nothing to you and doesn't deserve it. The other right is to betray a loved one. Those who are willing to do these two things have shown that they can overcome their emotions and their conscience and will do whatever it takes to ascend to power. Also, once you've done these things, now the Pact Malefic has dirt on you that they can use against you if you ever betray them. Those are the rites that John was weighing whether or not he would complete them to gain access to all of this information, to bypass every single trap inside the tower. Those who pass those rites and who bear the mark, Anamnes, the jackass fiend who is there, has to obey them, help them, guide them around the castle, retrieve the books of dark magic that they want, the weapons that they want, convene with the demons and devils that they want. And you know a lot more than this. I'm just not going to go into all the detail. But if you go back there is a chance you'll be able to recall information about any door, any vault, any location inside the tower. Is there anything specific that you're looking for, or is that good?
I think that's good.
Okay. Oh, there's one more thing.
What? You got a little too happy there.
General Lucidius Sigomo, he calls himself in your world. The guy that you've met before, the guy who's kind of scary.
Yeah.
He is from the same world that the Dre Dodson and his friends all came from. In that world, he was a conqueror. He rode across the field in full armor with armies at his back, sweeping over lands, conquering castles, setting villages aflame, a lord of war, and those who followed in his footsteps were almost unstoppable. They called him the War Crow.
I find that out, or he's there?
You discover that.
Oh, okay. Huh. Hopefully I remember to tell John this.
It's not a guarantee.
Satisfied from the books, I think Asena would just start looking around and try to find Medwithin.
Okay. As you turn around and look, the shimmering rainbow tapestry surrounding you moves as if it's hanging against a wall and there's something behind it. Something enormous. Shifting and rippling just behind the surface of reality.
Can I look behind there?
Yeah, okay. So you move up and you sort of peel back the curtain. And there's nothing to see because the curtain itself is alive. As you see the dragon, enormous, coiled across the astral sky, its body transcendent, woven of soul stuff and the psychic winds, no longer even bound by physical reality.
Hello?
Hello?
And at that exact moment, whoosh! Snapped back. You're in Medwithin's room, standing just at the edge, looking out over the city of the House of Fluris, except that the trees of the forest are all still glowing with silver light. Medwithin is sitting at the table behind you, mid-sentence. And then what happened?
Ugh, I was just there.
You were.
Wait, where were you? Where have you been here this whole time?
I saw nothing.
You've been sitting here? You didn't go anywhere?
No. You must have perceived something that I can't.
How could you not?
The realm of the mind is esoteric, and there are some things that are secret even to one such as me. Do you want to see if John is still alive?
Probably.
Okay.
How do we see that?
She reaches a hand out to you.
She'll take it hesitantly.
She shuts her eyes for a moment, and everything starts to buzz and vibrate, including, well, they're not really your molecules because you're in a psychic dream